This show is going to be about outdoor opportunities for women and the different groups that they can join. Please enjoy. Thank you. Okay, so welcome back to Two Guys in the Outdoors for our second campfire. And one of our members is going to be missing tonight. Maybe he'll join us a little bit later. But we have three great people on here now. So you've already met Mike and Wendy. We have a new guest tonight. We'll have her start off first. So Kate, if you'd introduce yourself and let us know what you did in the outdoors this past week.
Okay, certainly. My name's Kate Onstrom. I'm owner of Virginia Shooting Sports. It's a sporting clay and wing shooting school here in Central Virginia. I teach out of primarily Old Forge Sporting Clays down in Providence Forge, but also out at Central Virginia Sporting Clays in Fluvanna. And basically dedicated to diversifying the demographic in the hunt field and on the clay course. So anybody and everybody that is interested in going after and killing innocent little clay pigeons, I want to make sure that they have the opportunity. And those that would like to progress a little further and take that to the next level and chase feathers, my husband and I run a string of 7 short hairs, and I'm the resident pro at Orapax and at Bacon Farms down in Lunenburg, and do quite a bit out at Little George Rod and Gun in Buckingham. So lots of different opportunities. I'm always looking for new preserves and new places to take people to hunt. Very active with my Quail Forever chapter, the Central Virginia chapter. Member of the Artemis Sports Women, which is a nationally supported group of sportswomen helping to get more women into hunting and fishing. Through the National Wildlife Federation, member of the American Daughters of Conservation, just anything and everything I can get into to help more people to get outdoors. I grew up out in Hanover, and 400-acre farm. I was constantly outdoors, not because I wanted to, but because I had to be. Because mom and dad said that things needed to be picked and processed and sold. Yep. So we were always outdoors, and I've always loved having my hands in the dirt. And actually, now that I think about it, this past week, that has been the big thing that I have been doing. I have gotten my little garden tilled up. Against some of my better judgment, I've gone ahead and put in those cucumbers and squash and zucchini and a few other things that will be killed at the first drop of the temperature below 40 degrees. But I
was going to ask you, was that before or after all that frost we've had?
I just did it. Let's see, today's Wednesday, so yesterday and Monday.
Okay.
So I at least waited until after that ugly frost this past weekend. So we'll cross our fingers. I kind of go by April 15th, but with my crazy schedule and we're still running some field trials, so my weekends are pretty sparse between here and June. So it's either I plant it and roll the dice, or we just hope somebody else plants it and we can buy it.
Well, that's the way I do it, because I can't plant anything. I've tried many a times, and my corn doesn't make it higher than 3 feet. My tomatoes look like it's light gray or light green, and I just gave up long ago. They've got all that stuff at the farmer's market.
Yeah, I learned that the only way to grow corn is how we used to do it when I was growing up. And you've got a 10-acre field. You have at least 10 acres, and it's just nothing but corn. And that way you have something to harvest out of it. If you try and do corn in a little small plot, I just don't think it's enough to pollinate. I just don't think it really takes off. I've tried doing it here at our little piece. And I've, it's gotten taller than 3 feet, but it hasn't done much more than that.
Well, with all that going on, how'd you have time for our little YouTube channel here? Wow.
Well, I'm busy. My husband and I are both really busy, but anytime I have the chance to be able to chat about getting outdoors. I'm gonna do my very utmost best to try and make that happen. So
Okay.
I was actually really honored that you guys thought of me and asked me to come in.
Well, we've never met, but I've seen you and we've chatted a few times on Facebook. So it's
Okay,
like, okay,
perfect.
she's got everything it takes to talk about the outdoor stuff.
Sure.
So, all right. How about Wendy? What did you do in the outdoors this past week?
Kind of in the same mindset as Kate is this time of year. We're trying to get a handle on the yard work between the frost and the arrival of the deer flies. I try to squeeze in as much yard work as I can. We're on a marsh, so we are very subject to the critters that come out of there. So just trying to get a handle on that and working on writing up some game recipes for some other things other project I'm working on. So taking my time inside and out and not working right now. Probably won't have to go back to work until fall. So
Oh, wow.
that's nice, kind of following this school, having the summer off. So
Nice. Okay. How about you, Mike? What'd you do this past week?
Mine was pretty easy. I turkey hunted. So went out opening day, had them gobbling from noon all the way up, or I mean from sun up till noon. Couldn't get one to commit. Had 7 or 8 gobbling all around me. Came home for church on Sunday, had dinner with the family, and then left. Went back to the hunt club, hunted Monday and Tuesday. Had one come in to 75 yards, hung up, started strutting, and would not come in. So that was as close as I got. And then other than that, working on bows at the shop,
Okay.
cutting some arrows and that kind of stuff. So
So you didn't have to swim out to the turkey though, right?
no. Matter of
So
fact,
that's
that picture you sent me, I saved that and showed that to several folks. I get several chuckles out of that.
so just so you guys know what went on. Uh, Mike was telling me how much it was raining out there and how much water was out there where he was going to hunt and all that stuff. And I sent him a picture of a turkey with a life preserver on it, and asked him if he was going to have to swim out to where he was going to hunt. So a little joke going on there.
But no, it was a good week. Even though it didn't harvest anything, it was still a good week being in the woods. It was absolutely gorgeous yesterday.
Yeah, it was. For me, this is the time that I'm taking to try to as I put it, money in the bank. Okay. Because at deer season, I really want to spend a lot of time in the woods. So I'm doing a lot of honeydews and trying to get projects done and, you know, just getting things done around the house that my wife would like. So that's why I mean putting money in the bank. So I'm trying to, do a lot of work now to where I can take off later in the year. But she did ask me the other day, she goes, when are you going to go turkey hunting? It's like, well, so I might try to do that Sunday a little bit, and that's why I've been kind of playing around getting this thing ready. Put a new
Nice.
stock on it, trying to get it ready. That's basically what I've been doing. Oh, and then playing with my little toy. But Jason has been teaching me how to do calls, and I was using the mouth calls, and my mouth calling sounds like somebody playing a kazoo. And Jason told me that this push-pull call would probably be the best thing for me to try.
It's a tool.
Yeah. So with all that being said, what would you guys all like to chat about? Now you had a good, interesting topic, Kate, talking about you know, trying to get more women into the outdoors and the organization that you guys are. Wendy, are you a part of that too? I'm assuming.
Yes, I've attended several of the meetings and should be able to join back in when they get started back up again. So
So go ahead and give that a
Yes.
little bit of a plug for our 5 and 6. I think we're up to about 34 subscribers. We
Yeah.
have quite to get confused, but it's so good. Give it a plug. Tell us a little bit about it.
Sure. So, like I was saying, Artemis Sportswomen, it is through it's part of the National Wildlife Federation. So, with that being said, there is a lot of growth opportunity that comes our way because of that. They realize that there are different organizations out there. Like I mentioned, the American Daughters of Conservation that I'm part of. I'm also field staff for the Sisterhood of the Outdoors, but particularly like the Sisterhood, that is a national organization, but there's no local grassroots stuff. Whereas I'm the ambassador for the state of Virginia for Artemis. So anything that I would like to do pertaining to hunting, fishing, hiking, I mean, if we wanted to do pollinators and beekeeping or some of the big topics that we like to, kind of tackle are sporting lead free. Because let's face it, it's coming. Whether you believe in sporting lead free or not, we can all kind of see the writing on the wall. A lot of things are shifting and changing, and I feel always better to get ahead of something before it happens, so that when it happens, you're like, oh yeah, we're already doing that. So
So
leave us alone and go bother somebody else.
what do you mean by sporting life free? What?
Basically all of your fishing tackle lead free. All
Oh,
of
okay.
your ammo lead free. Because it's already started out west. They've already got a huge movement. A lot of legislation is coming down the line that is prohibitive of anybody shooting lead.
Well, that's the way it
So
is over in England now.
we're headed there.
It's been in England like that for a number of years.
Yeah, we're headed there. So that's a big initiative of ours. Also, invasive species, non-native plants. That's something near and dear to my heart. Gardening is kind of my happy, I can just lose myself kind of place. Um, and I always try here. We've got a little 10-acre spot out here in Gum Spring, and everybody drives up and they're like, God, why do you have all that, stuff growing on that front piece of your property? I'm like, oh, that's not stuff. That's for my chickadees. You should see the dozens and dozens of little goldfinches and chickadees and titmouses and all the little birds that live off all of those seed pods all throughout the winter. And in the springtime, it turns into flowers. So it's pretty for me for spring and summer, and it feeds the birds for the fall and the winter.
Oh, nice.
So the non-native, battling non-native invasive species is a big thing for us. We've got a couple of other initiatives, but the great thing about Artemis is it doesn't cost you anything. All of the events that we host, we try to make either free because we can get grant money from the National Wildlife Federation, or because we can find sponsorships some way to be able to support and fund the events that we host. I went to the Southeast Ambassadors retreat at the beginning of December down in Tennessee. I went down there and taught a clinic on wing shooting and took, I think I took Kai. I think I took my one male short hair, and we did like a little hunt. I went to a local game farm down there and bought some chucker, and we put them out after we did the wing shooting lesson. And so the girls got to see the skill sets they had learned and then immediately put them to use. So that was pretty fun. And we were able to put that retreat on for nothing for the ambassadors because of funding we received through grant money and things like that. So it's open to any woman of any age that is interested in being able to do more outdoors and connect with other women. It's I like to say a safe space. It's one of those things where just come with an open mind and open heart and open hands, because we're going to get them working and dirty in a hurry.
So is there a big following here in Virginia?
Not yet, and I blame that on me, and my crazy schedule. So I'm the only ambassador here in Virginia. Anybody listening that knows a woman that would like to put it in it, it's a 2-year ambassadorship. And the cohort, I believe they're drawing the 2023 cohort, and they'll be introduced next month. So they'll be on for 2 years through 2025. And I fall off after next year. So I'm going to hopefully be able to either find another woman to take the reins and help guide them through to be the next ambassador, and I'll fall into the alumni, or else I'll just go ahead and champion to remain the ambassador.
So how many members are in Virginia?
That I would say right now, I think it was like 62 was my last count.
Okay.
Which, given the number of people that we have here in Virginia, I mean, we can certainly do way better than that. But again, part of that is because of my crazy schedule. Hunt season's wrapped up, almost done with field trial season. So we'll be able to ramp up Artemis. And part of the problem was when I attained my ambassadorship, it was kind of like towards the latter half, middle of COVID. So they weren't really letting us do much other than, you know, virtual kind of stuff. So hopefully we'll be able to get that moving a little bit more.
Okay.
But anybody that's interested, if you go to Artemis Sportswomen, I believe it's artemissportswomen.org, and pop that in, you'll get the full website and be able to see exactly who they are and what they do and all that good stuff.
I'll add that to our description too.
Yeah.
Nice.
Double check and make sure that that's correct.
Yeah, I'll look it up. Artemis. What was it all again?
Artemis Sport.
Text it to me and then I'll put it in. Okay.
Yeah, so it's artemis.nwf.org.
Okay.
And the problem now is if you Google Artemis, you unfortunately get the whole space program, since that's become big. We're good, but we're not that good. We're walking on the moon yet.
So what do you do with the program, or how do you intermingle with it?
At the moment, I'm an observer. When this program was initially brought to my attention through the state DWR statewide higher education program manager before he retired, and he got me in touch with Kate, and I've been able to sit in, like she mentioned, most everything had been virtual. So I was able to participate in some of the early meetings that were all virtual. And then my work schedule prevented me from going on the Thursday night meetings that she was holding. So I'm just learning more about the organization and waiting to see what kind of things they get involved in, and where I might fit in. What I liked about the organization is that it is backed by a larger entity, and it's the focus is more seems to be more recruitment and getting people involved rather than social events, because I find that some of the other groups are more about socializing and fundraising rather than actually boots on the ground doing something and getting people doing something productive that has an impact on the environment. So I'm looking forward to seeing what is ahead for Virginia. I have a daughter that lives out in Montana, and Kate is correct in that there's a lot more of these opportunities out in the Midwest and those areas where there's a lot more access to public land. She's forever connecting with somebody that's got property or that is near public property And most of what they do in her hunting world is on public land. So Virginia has its challenges in being able to be have as many opportunities as some of the Midwest states do. Is that right, Kate?
Yep.
Is that what you've seen
Yeah.
from your
Bob, you got your
Yeah, go ahead, Kate.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and there was I can't remember exactly when it came out. It was probably about a good 4 or 5 years ago. It was in a Ducks Unlimited publication about women coming into hunting and how it's such a growing segment. And they had done a study, and the study said that if dad goes and hunts, he's usually either by himself or an older male child will join him, but may not stick. Like might go a couple times because has fun with dad. If mom goes and hunts or fishes or is active in the outdoors, the entire family is active in the outdoors and it sticks.
Wow.
And I found that really powerful and really interesting, because think about it, when you have your mom and dad, if you think about, when you were growing up, if dad said, hey, we're gonna do this, you're like, oh, all right, dad, yeah, let's go do that. But if mom said, hey, we're all gonna go do this, I mean, stand at attention, get your stuff together and get in the family truckster and we're going down the road. So it's just interesting to me how that kind of matriarch position has much greater bearing on what the family as a whole is going to do and how much more lasting it is as a result.
I haven't heard that one. I was telling you guys earlier, I was reading an article on male and women, men and women, the percentages, right? In hunting, and it was 46% women, 54% men. So it's still, it's still higher than men, but it was a lot closer than I expected.
Yeah.
So, and it also said exactly what you said, that it is this fastest growing segment of all, whatever you look at, growing in hunting. So it was
It's probably been that way I'd say it's been that way for at least the last 6 or 7 years. Because when we were, we found that also through our NRA, of an NRA firearms instructor. And we found that also through those programs, is that the women were really thirsting for an opportunity to do something, and honestly to do it when the guys weren't involved, because it gives them an opportunity to build female relationships. There's not that same sense of I have to be successful because my husband or my boyfriend or my brother or some significant male in their life is watching. The freedom to be themselves and to learn and to ask questions and to make mistakes. And they seem to like to do that in an environment with just other women. So it makes sense that the same thing would apply to doing things in the outdoors, maybe that are firearms related, hunting, going with another woman who hunts, or
yeah. So
some opportunity where there is not a they don't feel a need to prove themselves or to have to maintain some kind of reputation. They can just be themselves and learn at their own pace.
Yeah.
That's why Women in the Outdoors weekend, WOW, down in Holiday Lake's always been so popular. I know I teach when I go down there to teach, I'm like one of only 2 or 3 guys down there because I teach the archery, and I have all women classes, and they are absolutely wonderful to teach. They are willing to listen, and you'd be surprised how quick they get to take to archery and shooting very, very well in a very short time that I have them, and that's instinctive. So, but yeah, they have a ball when they go down there for that weekend.
Well, I hate to do this, guys. We only got about a minute left because I'm doing the free version of Zoom, so I don't get to record a whole lot. But I think we need to just go ahead and sign off now. So, thank you very much. And everybody needs to get out in the outdoors. So thank you. This is a good
Absolutely.
conversation.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks, Bob.
Great to see everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
Have
Nice
a
to
good
meet you,
week.
finally.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Thank you.